To all of my fellow brothers and sisters, peace be with you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. My name is Ben, and I welcome you to the Restored Ephraim Publications channel. Today we're going to continue our study of the Book of Enoch, and we are beginning in chapter 68, which today we will conclude the Book of Noah. So let's go ahead and get started in verse 1. After this, he gave me the signs of all the secret things in the book of my grandfather Enoch, and in the parables which had been given to him, inserting them for me among the words of the book of parables. So this verse here is very likely an interpolation, and in fact I think the first part of this chapter is an interpolation. This first verse here was inserted in order to explain why the book of Noah is in the middle of the book of Enoch. And apparently it says he, doesn't specify who he is, but we can assume that it is an angel. And as in the previous section, Michael was speaking to Noah, so we can assume that this is referring to Michael. Michael, it says, taught the secret things in the book of Enoch to Noah, and told Michael inserted the book that Noah wrote into the book of parables. Now, we know from the Book of Mormon that sometimes people forget to record stuff, and when Jesus Christ visited the remnant of the Nephites and Lamanites upon the land, he told them to record some of the prophecies of Samuel the Lamanite, who made prophecies about the coming of bodies from their graves in resurrected form, and that was not recorded in their historical record, and so Jesus told them to record it. And so it's certainly possible that this is what happened, but in my opinion, especially when it says that the angel did it, it's more likely an interpolation to explain why the Book of Noah is inserted at this place. Then it says these next few verses 2 through 5 are what I believe to be a false interpolation and should be rejected. And so this whole chapter 68 is I believe a false interpolation, but we're going to read it anyway. It says, "And on that day Michael answered Raphael and said, 'The power of the Spirit grabs me and causes me to go up on account of the severe judgment of the secrets. Who is able to endure the severe judgment which has been executed and before which they melt away?' And Michael answered again and said to Raphael, 'Who is he whose heart is not softened concerning it, and whose reins are not troubled by this word of judgment that has gone forth upon them because of those who have thus let out?' And it happened that when they stood before the Lord of the Spirits, Michael said to Raphael thus, 'They shall not prosper before the eye of the Lord, for they have quarreled with the Lord of the Spirits, because they act in the style of the Lord. Therefore all that which has been concealed shall come upon them forever and ever, for neither an image nor a man should be made for him, but alone they have received their judgment forever and ever.'" So this last part, it talks about neither an image nor a man. What this is trying to say is that the Lord did not intend for people to make idols or for men to set themselves up as gods on earth. And so that's definitely a true statement. But the question is whether this whole account is original or if it's an interpolation. And just from the feel of it, I believe that it is an interpolation. And that is the end of chapter 68. So let's move on to chapter 69. Now, this next chapter, there's a lot of corruption in it. I believe that verse 1 through 12 is an interpolation. And it's kind of a retelling of the Watcher story that was in the earlier part of the Book of Enoch, chapter 6, I believe. And if we take anything out of it, the main point is that wicked beings gave secret knowledge to men, and this caused a lot of destruction in the earth. So let's go ahead and read this as an interpolation. Now again, just because something, I believe, is an interpolation, doesn't mean it does not contain like true statements. But again, the answer is this original? I just don't believe it's original. And after this judgment they shall terrify and make them to tremble, because they have shown this to those who dwell on the earth. Behold the names of those angels. These are their names. The first of them is Samyaza, the second Aristikapha, the third Armin, the fourth Kakabeo, the fifth Turel, the sixth Rumiel, the seventh Daniel, the eighth Kael, the ninth Barakel, the 10th Azazel, the 11th Armers, the 12th Batariel, the 13th Basasael, the 14th Ananel, the 15th Turiel, the 16th Simapisiel, the 17th Yatarel, the 18th Tumael, the 19th Tariel, the 20th Rumel, the 21st Azaziel. These are the chiefs of their angels and the names of the leaders of their hundreds and the leaders of their 50s and the leaders of their 10s. Let's pause right here. So even though this is a long interpolation section, 12 verses, I'll still talk about it. But the names of the angels aren't really important. It's probably all made up. But it organizes them according to the way that the Torah says things should be organized. It says it talks about leaders of hundreds and the leaders of 50s and the leaders of 10s. This is what Jethro told to Moses to set up for councils. And the idea here is showing that the Jews believed, and this is their belief, that the way that the children of Israel were set up, it was because one day they had like this mass revelation where they saw like the armies of heaven above them, and they were divided by banners in 12 groupings, and they basically asked Moses, saying, "Is this what we should do?" And Moses said, "Yeah, this is what we should do." And so the way that the house of Israel was set up, the in the Torah is according to their tradition. It was based on that revelation that they were imitating the way things were done in heaven. Now, if that's true or not, I can't say it. What I do believe, at the very least, is that it's always the Lord's intent to try to get us to do the things that are up there, and so it makes sense to me that God would teach them the way things are up there, and then we're supposed to try to imitate that. Then it says, the name of the first is Yakun. He it was who led astray all the sons of the angels and brought them down to earth and led them astray through the daughters of men. Now, as I talked about in the earlier part of the Book of Enoch, this is a corruption of the idea of what actually happened. The term angels is referring to priesthood holders, and the daughters of men are referring to the daughters of Cain. The name of the second is Kasabel, who imparted evil counsel to the sons of the angels and induced them to corrupt their bodies with the daughters of men. And so this is the idea that the angels were forbidden from taking wives and from having children, and they lusted after human women and wanted to have children. But we know the Holy Spirit told me that the watchers that are talked about in the Book of Enoch in the beginning are referring to priesthood holders, and they married the daughters of Cain, which thing was forbidden because they were only supposed to marry the daughters of the covenant of God. Then it says, the name of the third is Gadrel. He showed every stroke of death to the children of men. He led astray Eve and showed to the children of men the instruments of death, the coat of mail, the shield, and the sword for slaughter, every instrument of death to the children of men. So, even though I believe this is an interpolation, it says here that this angel showed to men like how to make weapons of war and armor. But then it has this weird statement. It says he led astray Eve. We know that is doctrinally false, as it was Satan himself who did that. And so this looks like an interpolation within an interpolation. But basically what this is saying is that the evil beings taught man how to make weapons and armor in order to destroy each other. Now, do I believe that statement? Yes. But I just believe that this section is an interpolation. Then it says, from his hands it proceeds against those who dwell upon the earth from that day forever. The name of the fourth is Penume. He taught to the children of men bitterness and sweetness, and pointed out to them every secret of their wisdom. He taught men to understand writing and the use of ink and paper. Therefore numerous have been those who have gone astray from every period of the world, even to this day, for men were not born for this, to take up their beliefs with pen and ink. For men were not created but to be like angels, permanently live pure and righteous lives. Death, which destroys everything, would not have touched them, had it not been through their knowledge by which they shall perish. It is eating us by means of this power. So again, this is still part of the interpolation. So the first problem I have with this verse is that it says that this angel taught men how to write and read. This is false, clearly. The righteous have always been commanded to keep records. It says that men were not meant to write down their beliefs with pen and ink. This is again a false statement. I believe that God taught Adam in the Garden of Eden, or maybe he just had the knowledge of how to read and write. But from the days of Adam, so long as there's been righteousness on the earth, there has been righteous records kept. Now, if we say that this is a corruption, then the corruption could be that maybe it was trying to originally say that the wicked were not meant to write down their false beliefs. But I just think this whole section is an interpolation, and so I just reject it outright. And then it says that knowledge is what caused Adam and Eve to gain death, which again, that is a false statement. Death came about by eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And so what this shows is that they viewed that as a metaphorical thing, and that they believe that it was not meant for us to have knowledge, but that's not true. We had to be given knowledge so that we can make right and wrong choices, and we have a set timer on this earth in order to show that we love good things rather than evil things. Moving on, it says, the name of the fifth is Cassiade. He showed to the children of men every wicked stroke of spirits and demons, the stroke of the embryo in the womb to crush it, the stroke of the bite of the serpent, and the stroke which is given in the midday, the son of the serpent, whose name is Tabata. So again, this is showing ideas that are true ideas, but again, is this an original statement? I do not believe so. He says he showed to the children of men every wicked stroke of spirits and demons. This is like ills that evil spirits inflict on men, and it's the belief that some illnesses are the result of evil spirits. And it says the stroke of the embryo in the womb to crush it. That, of course, is referring to like abortion, where they taught, evil spirits taught man how to abort their children. Again, I believe that statement. I just don't believe that this is an original part of the Book of Enoch. And it says the stroke of the bite of the serpent. Not sure if that's trying to say that this angel taught snakes how to bite and have poison in them. I'm not 100% sure, but again, it doesn't matter to me because I believe that this is a interpolation. And it says, and the stroke which is given in the midday. What that might be referring to is the stroke of the sun at what is at the hottest point of the day. Again, an angel can't really teach that. That's kind of something God set up. Then it says the son of the serpent, whose name is Tabata. not really explained what that means. The word Tabata is from the Ethiopic language, and it literally means male. So not sure what they're trying to say there. Now these next few verses, I don't think of these next few verses, because that was the last verse that we just read of chapter 12. I mean, verse 12. Now the rest of these verses here, they have a lot of interesting ideas, and there's a lot of potential truth in them. So I don't really see these as interpolation, but I see it as being highly corrupted. So either it is an interpolation and it's just reflecting true beliefs, or it's something that became highly corrupted. That is original. Let's go ahead and get started. It says that, and this is the number of Kezbel, the chief of the oath which he revealed to the holy ones while he was still dwelling in the highest in glory. So the text never reveals what is meant by the number of Kezbel, unless it is referring to the Kezbel in Enoch 69:5, in which case the scribe made a spelling mistake, and the number is referring to the number of angels who followed Kezbel. But again, I think that this verse is just highly corrupted, and either something is missing in the transition to the discussion of the oath. Now, what I believe, because I believe this is just a highly corrupted section, I believe that there's what this is trying to show is a discussion between Satan and Michael. And the point is that Satan or Michael, Satan, who was once known as Lucifer, was a high official in the oath of God. And so this there's this chief of the oath, and he revealed something to the holy ones while they were still dwelling in the highest in glory. And so what this might be referring to is the pre-existence, where whoever the chief of the oath is that referring to Jehovah? Is that referring to Michael? It doesn't really say. But whoever it is, it revealed this oath to those in the pre-existence. Then it says that his name was then Becca, and he spoke to Michael to disclose to him his secret name, so that he would memorize the secret name of his, so that he would call it up in an oath, in order that they shall tremble from it and the oath. So it's saying that the name of the angel that talked to whoever is Becca, but I believe that the original intent was that this was a discussion between Lucifer and Michael, and that for some reason it's been altered by Jewish scribes. And so Becca, he talks to Michael, and he's trying to get Michael to disclose his secret name. Now, if you've gone through the temple, you know that those who receive their endowment receive a secret name, and that this is part of the oath and covenant that we make with God. And the reason why he wants the secret name is so that he can use it in order to cause others to tremble from it. And so, what this is trying to say, I think, is again a discussion between Lucifer and Michael. Lucifer wants to use Michael's authority to cause the inhabitants of the earth to tremble. Then it says, he then revealed these to the children of men and all the hidden things and his power and this power of this oath, for it is power and strength itself. The evil one placed this oath in Michael's hands. So again, this whole text is in this part is really corrupt, or it's just a straight interpolation. But there's enough interesting things in it that I like to think of it as some type of corruption. But what this is trying to say is it would seem to imply that Michael gave this information to the angel, but I don't believe that to be the case. But what I believe is that what happened is that this being, who I believe is actually Lucifer or Satan, gave his own secret name and oath to the children of men. And so what I think this is really trying to say is that this is Satan establishing his own secret combination, secret oath in the world, and he did that through Cain. If we turn to Moses chapter 5, verse 29 through 31, it says, "And Satan said unto Cain, Swear unto me by thy throat, and if thou tell it, thou shalt die. And swear thy brethren by their heads, and by the living God, that they tell it not, for if they tell it, they shall surely die. And this that thy father may not know it. And this day I will deliver thy brother Abel into thine hands. And Satan sware unto Cain that he would do according to his commands. And all these things were done in secret. And Cain said, Truly I am Mahan, the master of this great secret, that I may murder and get gain. Wherefore Cain was called Master Mahan, and he gloried in his wickedness." And so Satan makes an oath with Cain. He teaches him some things, and he gives him a new name. And this is done in imitation of the order that God has. And then it talks about, it says, the evil one placed this oath in Michael's hand. And what I think this is trying to say is that because Lucifer rebelled, it was taken from his oath and covenant of the priesthood was taken from him, and it was given to Michael. And what that might imply is that maybe Lucifer was set up to be an Adam, and by his rebellion he rejected it, and so it was given to Michael in order to fill the need on this earth. Now, if that's true or not, I can't say. There's no evidence of that happening, and so we can't prove one way or another that is something that's actually true. And so this oath that it's talking about, is referring to the priesthood. That we can't say for sure. It says, these are the secrets of this oath, and they are sustained by the oath. The heaven was suspended before the creation of the world and forever. Now, these next verses, this is verse 16, and 16 through 24, the intent of it is to show that it's the priesthood that God has that controls all the elements of heaven and earth. And that I believe. And that doesn't mean that we control it as the priesthood here, but God has a priesthood, and it permeates through all creation. And that's how all things are governed. By it, the earth is founded upon the water. From the hidden places of the mountains come beautiful waters, from the creation of the world and forever. By that oath the sea was created, and he put down for it a foundation of sand, which cannot be transgressed at a time of its anger, from the beginning of creation and forever. And by that oath the depths are made firm. They stand still and do not move from their places from the beginning and forever. By the same oath the sun and the moon complete their courses of travel, and do not deviate from the laws made for them from the beginning and forever. And by the same oath the stars complete their courses of travel. If he calls their names, they shall respond from the beginning and forever. Likewise the water and their spirits, all the winds and their passive travel, from all the direction of the winds. The voice of the thunder and the light of the lightning are kept there. The chambers of hail, the chambers of frost, the chambers of mist, the chambers of rain and dew are kept there. So, this whole section is actually very similar to chapter or Psalm 148. Which is is praising the Lord for all the different types of creation. But what is not mentioned in this list that is part of the Book of Noah is a part about the mankind giving praise to God. And so I believe that's something that might have dropped out later. Then it says, all these believe and give thanks in the presence of the Lord of the spirits. They glorify with all their might and please him in all this thanksgiving. They shall thank, glorify, exalt the Lord of the spirits forever and ever. So again, I think that there's a verse missing here where it talks about mankind being governed by the oath, and that they give praise to God, because this section looks like it's mirroring Psalm 148. Then it says, this oath has become dominant over them. They are preserved by it, and their paths are preserved by it, so that their course of travel do not perish. Then there came to them a great joy, and they blessed, glorified, and exalted, because the name of that Son of Man was revealed to them. And he sat on the throne of his glory, and the presidency of the judgment was given unto the Son of Man. He shall cause the sinners to pass away, and perish from before the face of the earth. And so all creation praises God, and the Son of Man was revealed to all creation, and the Son of Man is given the presidency of the judgment. He's in charge of sitting over the judgment of everything, and he will eventually cause sinners to pass away and perish from before the face of the earth, because the earth has to rise in glory. And those who cannot live by that glory cannot live on the earth. And then it says, and those who have led the world astray shall be bound with chains, and their ruinous congregation shall be imprisoned. All their deeds shall vanish from before the face of the earth. Again, this is a true statement. It mirrors some things in the book of Revelation. Revelation 19 verse 20 says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before them, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. And so that refers to the congregation, the ruinous. I like how they use the term ruinous congregation. And so these people that have led astray the inhabitants of the earth, the term ruinous exactly applies. They ruin everything. And it says they shall be imprisoned, and everything that they do shall vanish from the earth. In the book of Revelation, they're taken and cast out of the earth and cast into the lake of a fire burning with brimstone, which again, it's metaphorical. And it refers to their judgment. It talks about, it says bound with chains. If you go over to Revelation chapter 20, verse 1 through 3, it says, I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. And so again, we see the chaining of Satan and shutting him out. And so this part of the book of Noah in the book of Enoch is definitely talking about true things. It says, from thenceforth nothing that is corruptible shall be found, for that Son of Man has appeared and has seated himself upon the throne of his glory, and all evil shall disappear from before his face, and the word of that Son of Man shall go forth and be strong before the Lord of the spirits. This is the third parable of Enoch. So, this, again, all the problems in the world will be overcome by Jesus Christ, the Son of Man. And he shall cause evil to disappear in the world. And it's a guaranteed thing. Then the scribe inserts the phrase, "This is the third parable of Enoch," showing that this ends the parable of Enoch. But actually, this is actually the end of the book of Noah. But if this is where we insert the ending of the third parable, it should go after Enoch chapter 64 verse 2. We're in chapter 69 right now. And so we're going to stop here. I believe there's a lot of true things in the book of Noah, especially the prophecies that I talked about in the previous video, and then there's some true things in this part, but it does seem highly corrupted. But again, through the Holy Spirit, we can see the true things and reject the false things. And I believe what I've talked about is the way that it should be read. I leave this with you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.